We've recently talked about the Oracle in her scene with Neo at the urban park in Matrix Reloaded. We analyzed how that scene showed more of her darker side. However, there were lines of dialogue in the original script that were omitted from that scene. We've done multiple videos about the scenes from the Matrix script that were changed or completely deleted from the movie, such as Neo already knowing about the ones before him and the death of a red pill at the hands of Morpheus. But today, we're going to focus on the 8 lines of dialogue that were removed from the urban park scene and how much they would have impacted the story. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Before we begin today's video, we would like to proudly announce Matrix Explained memberships. Members will unlock badges and emojis for live chat and video premieres, alongside other benefits such as early access to videos and more, with other benefits being added in the near future. This directly helps us to continue to make content for all Matrix fans. So please join us and enjoy today's video. Neo was having nightmares about Trinity's death. He was worried and confused, and this dream couldn't have happened at a worse time, as the Sentinels were on their way to Zion. The Oracle was Neo's only hope in understanding what he was seeing in his dreams. When the Oracle finally makes contact, Neo meets with her at a neighborhood park. There Neo makes a revelation that the Oracle is not human, but a program of the Matrix. Naturally, he doubts whether or not he should trust her. In the original script, there is some extra dialogue of Neo questioning the veracity of the prophecy and of what happened to the one before him.
We can never see past the choices we don't understand.
Are you saying I have to choose whether Trinity lives or dies?
No, you've already made the choice. Now you have to understand it.
No. I can't do that. I won't.
Well, you have to.
Why?
Because you're the one.
What about the first one? What about him? Did he reach the source? Yes? Then why didn't he end the war? He did what he was here to do. His path is not your path, Neo. Your path, I'm afraid, is much harder. Why? Because of the choices you've made.
What if I can't? What happens if I fail?
Then Zion will fall.
Now you may be asking, how was it possible for Neo to know that he was not the only one? Well, Morpheus already answered that question in the first movie.
When the Matrix was first built, there was a man born inside who had the ability to change whatever he wanted, to remake the Matrix as he saw fit. It was he who freed the first of us, taught us the truth. As long as the Matrix exists, the human race will never be free.
Morpheus is referring to the anomaly that came before Neo. For the sake of this analysis, let's call him Number 5. Number 5 was able to modify the Matrix code and liberate the first humans, but in actuality, it was the first humans of the current Zion population. Number 5 was unable to reveal the real truth to the humans. He couldn't tell them that they were still under the control of the machines, and that he was just an anomaly of the Matrix. The Oracle used Number 5 as the starting point for the prophecy for Number 6, aka Neo. Number 5 would eventually die, but one day return. This, beyond any religious allegories that the prophecy has, became a sign that told us that the Oracle knew that the interval anomaly would rise again, so she had to be prepared. How does she prepare, do you ask? Well, by creating a prophecy that served as a control mechanism, a trump card. The Oracle reveals to Neo that the first one, or rather the 5th, arrived at the source. In other words, he fulfilled his purpose.
The function of the One is now to return to the source, allowing a temporary dissemination of the code you carry, reinserting the Prime program. After which you will be required to select from the Matrix 23 individuals, 16 female, 7 male, to rebuild Zion.
So after arriving at the source, Number 5 choose who would repopulate Zion, since the previous Zion had to be destroyed. This is why it is unknown what exactly happened to him afterwards. The Oracle said that he did what he had to do, but in Neo's case, his choices changed his situation. She doesn't reveal the truth to Neo, that the one before him was actually the fifth. Many of you tend to show affinity towards the Oracle and ask us why we talk about her as if she were a villain on this channel. Practically all Matrix fan pages classifies the Oracle as an ally of humanity, but this could not be further from the truth. Let me explain. The Oracle told Neo that he could not know for sure if she's there to help him or not.
Bingo. It is a pickle, no doubt about it. Bad news is there's no way if you can really know whether I'm here to help you or not. So it's really up to you. Just have to make up your own damn mind to either accept what I'm going to tell you or reject it.
But we as viewers can deduce whether the Oracle helped or tricked Neo. First of all, we usually see the Oracle as the antithesis of the Architect, but as we described her in a previous video, she is just another side of the same coin.
If I am the father of the Matrix, she would undoubtedly be its mother.
The Oracle.
It's because of her that humans are kept trapped in the simulation. She was the one who discovered that adding choice to the Matrix would create more stability in the equation. She is directly responsible for the creation of the anomaly, because without the element of choice, Neo as we came to know him would not have existed. In order to prevent the anomaly from becoming a danger to the system, new methods of control were needed, ones that were not designed by the Architect. This means that Neo was the Messiah because the Oracle planned it. The Oracle convinced Morpheus about the prophecy, the hope that he would find the savior that would end the war. She manipulated Trinity so she would fall in love with the One, love being a part of the plan, an emotion that has been used on each anomaly. Each step that she takes and each word that she speaks are not fraudulent because she seldom lies. Instead, she does worse than lie. She manipulates others by using human emotions and taking advantage of their weaknesses, like hopelessness and fear of death. The Oracle implanted the dynamics of love between Neo and Trinity so that Neo would choose Trinity over humanity. Adding this form of love to the equation was risky because it was different from how it was done before, and it could have resulted in further imbalance in the Matrix. That's why the Architect tells her that she played a dangerous game. I know you may think that the Oracle helped end the war, but this is not true. The Oracle simply changed the paradigm of how the cycles occur and basically delayed the destruction of Zion. The war itself has not ended. The truce is mostly beneficial for the machines because they don't want to deal with any human resistance. The humans have to keep their end of the bargain. Believing that the truce with the machines in the Matrix is a good thing is like believing that surrendering to Emperor Palpatine was a better choice for Luke, or that John Connor should have made a deal with Skynet. The millions of people still connected to the Matrix serve as the fundamental evidence that this story is far from finished. Humanity are still victims of a facade, a lie that the Oracle continues to perpetuate. She knew that Zion had been destroyed 5 times before. She created the story of the One and manipulated Trinity and Neo's feelings. She patiently waited for Neo to return to the source and save the Matrix. So the story ended as it did the last 5 times. Though this time she had a new variable to consider, it didn't change anything. In summary, the Oracle is not benevolent. She never was. She is one of those who are directly responsible for the balance of the Matrix. And if you are on humanity's side, there is only one solution, and that solution is to prevent the Matrix from reaching 100% efficiency. But the only way that can be achieved is that the Oracle must be eliminated. This program has an unparalleled understanding of human behavior that goes far beyond any other program, which makes her more dangerous than the Architect himself. But do you agree? What do you think about this deleted scene? Are you still not convinced that the Oracle is a villain? For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.